I'm an oral historian out of the Southwest Collection, and I've been working primarily with the Hispanic community since 1998. So I came to know a few of the people that were former editors or have their own newspapers, like Vidal Agüero, who's now deceased, who had El Editor, and also Ernesto Barton, who has West Texas Hispanic News. And along the way, I've met a few of the other people, like Christy Garcia, who has a Latino Lubbock. Hispanic print media in the U.S., the bilingual aspect of it, has started actually in 1808 with El Mississippi, and that was actually printed on the Louisiana Gazette. And after that, other newspapers have come along. Of course, with the Spanish language tradition that we've had in Texas, it was here long before Texas was Texas. But up here on this area of the plains, we started in about 1960 with El Noticiero. And then also around that time frame was the Press of the South, which was called La Prensa de la Sureste, which was by Alicia Abercrombie. And the first one was by the Jimenez family. And after that, other papers came around, and Agustin Medina created La Voz de los Llanos. That was one of his publications, but it was also La Voz de Texas for a time. And after that, he was followed by some of his students that had studied underneath him, actually students more like apprentices. Vidal Agüero being one of them. He started El Editor. Also around the same time frames when Ernesto Barton had moved to Lubbock from Brownfield, and he began West Texas Hispanic News at the same year. And later on we had Hispano Weekly, which was a short-lived one by Jackie Leva, and after her, Christy Martinez started hers in about 2007, I think. It's important to the area as a whole because everyone needs to learn more about each other, and what's great about the Hispanic print media, since they are dealing with Hispanic people, they're more into that culture and the aspects and the events that are going on. And so if someone's holding like the Fiestas del Llano, they'll be heavily, documented in there. And so that's great for them. It's also great for us as an archives because we can go back through those newspapers and through those articles and find out more about the events that have been going on, especially from that point of view, from the point of view of the Hispanic individuals.
Having it on black and white has a lot more volume, has a lot more power than waves like radio or TV. If you saw it, you saw it. If you didn't, you missed out. If you heard it, you heard it. If you didn't, well, you missed it, So, but in paper, you can always go back because everything is archived, and it's always there. My husband's name is Vidal Agüero, and he passed in 2009. But he's an icon in the community. He would always put himself in other people's place, and that's why he decided in 1977, in the month of October, to found and to establish the newspaper El Editor. He had worked while he was going to college he was a student. He worked for another gentleman by the name of Medina, and he had a newspaper. It was called La Voz, and but that it died off, and that's when Vidal decided to establish El Editor. The demand became increasingly by people wanting and picking it up because it was bilingual, both Spanish and English, so it was reaching a lot more than any other major publication around here. And he saw the need to highlight the Hispanic community, the minority community, to an extent that they would get energized and they would encourage Vidal to continue because they felt like El Editor was the voice that they never had. El Editor was used through a lot of organizations for people to recognize injustices, recognize employment discrimination, even civil lawsuits. It gave people the inside scoop of what happens, in our schools. Whatever he did, he knew he could always count on his family. And with that being said, I believe that that's why us as a family are encouraged to continue his legacy, to continue doing the things that he wanted us to keep doing.